Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When a man truly wants you, you don't have to keep guessing. You don't have to sit by the phone wondering if he cares. You don't have to put in all the effort hoping he finally sees your worth. See, the problem today is too many good women are wasting their precious time on men who are just using them. Let me tell you something real quick. Emotional unavailability is one of the biggest signs a man is just using you. And a lot of women miss it because on the surface, everything can look so good. He's charming. He's saying all the right things. He's texting you late at night. He's showing up just enough to keep you hooked. But deep down, if you pay attention, you'll see the truth. He's not really connecting with you. He's not really letting you in. He's not building anything real with you. He's just standing close enough to catch your good energy, but staying far enough not to have to give anything back. That's emotional unavailability, and that's dangerous for your heart. See, when a man is emotionally unavailable, he keeps you at arm's length. Oh, he might hang out with you. He might even call you his girl when it suits him. But when it comes time to have a real conversation about where things are going, about how you feel, about what you need, he disappears. He changes the subject. He gets defensive. He tells you, why we got to label it, or let's just go with the flow. Ladies, when a man tells you he just wants to go with the flow, you better recognize what he's really saying. He wants all the privileges without any of the responsibility. That's not a relationship. That's a convenience, and you're the one getting played. You got to watch his emotional consistency. Anybody can be sweet for a day. Anybody can show up when they're bored or when it's easy. But where is he when you're hurting? Where is he when you need support? Where is he when it's time to stand up for you, not just flirt with you? If he's not willing to walk through your storms with you, he doesn't deserve to dance in your sunshine either. The hard part is emotional unavailability can be dressed up real pretty. It can come with good morning texts. It can come with dates. It can even come with promises that sound real nice. But promises without follow through are nothing but manipulation. If a man tells you he loves you, but you feel lonely when you're with him, listen to that feeling. Your spirit knows when something ain't right. Don't let sweet talk make you ignore what your soul is screaming to you. And here's another thing. Emotionally unavailable men are often very good at making you feel like it's your fault. They'll say things like you're too emotional, or you're asking for too much, or you're moving too fast. No, queen. You're just asking for basic human decency. You're asking for honesty, transparency, emotional presence. And if that's too much for him, it's because he's giving you crumbs while you're out here offering a whole banquet. Stop lowering your standards just to keep a seat at a table where you're not even being fed. A real man who's emotionally available wants to know your fears. He wants to hear your dreams. He wants to walk with you through your past and build a future with you. He doesn't run when things get heavy. He doesn't shut down when you open up. He leans in, he listens, he holds you steady. That's what love looks like. That's what commitment sounds like. Not this half-hearted part-time, maybe one day nonsense. You are not a rehab center for broken men who don't want to heal. You are not an emotional punching bag for somebody who's too scared to face his own issues. You have to be brave enough to recognize when a man is emotionally unavailable and strong enough to walk away. Because the longer you stay, the more you'll start to feel like you're the problem. And you are not the problem. You're just trying to build something real with somebody who's only interested in temporary pleasure. You're trying to love somebody who don't even fully love himself yet. Ladies and gentlemen, emotional unavailability is not love. It's not kindness. It's not romance. It's a trap. And the sooner you see it for what it is, the sooner you can free yourself and make room for the love that you actually deserve, a love that stays, a love that grows, a love that feels like home. Let's have a real talk tonight, because I need you to understand something important. When a man's words don't match his actions, that man is lying to you. Point blank. It doesn't matter how smooth he talks. It doesn't matter how good he makes it sound. If he says one thing and does another, his true feelings are in what he's doing, not what he's saying. Too many people get caught up in beautiful lies because they want to believe them so bad. They hold on to the words and ignore the truth that's staring them right in the face. But the truth is always in the action. See, a man will tell you he loves you. He'll tell you you're the only one. He'll tell you he can't imagine life without you. But if he's out here disappearing for days, not calling when he says he will, not showing up for the things that matter to you, then what kind of love is that? Love shows up. Love is consistent. Love doesn't leave you guessing. A man who cares will prove it every single day, not just talk about it when it's convenient for him. Some men use words as weapons. They'll say whatever they need to say to keep you around. They know you have a good heart. They know you believe in love. They know you see the best in people. So they feed you just enough to keep your hopes up, but never enough to build anything real. They promise change, but never change. They promise commitment, but stay single in their behavior. They tell you you're special, but treat you like an option. Ladies, if his words sound sweet, but his actions make you cry, you have your answer. He's just using you to fill his own empty spaces. You got to stop listening to promises and start looking at patterns. Promises are easy. Patterns tell the truth. If his pattern is inconsistency, if his pattern is disrespect, if his pattern is excuses, then his pattern is the reality, no matter how beautiful the promises sound. Don't let your ears fool what your eyes already see. You don't need to keep waiting for him to finally act right. You don't need to keep hoping that one day he's going to wake up and realize you're the one. If he hasn't shown you by now, he's already told you who he is. And when people show you who they are, you better believe them. When a real man loves you, his actions line up with his words. He doesn't have to tell you every 5 minutes how much he cares, because he shows you every day in the way he treats you. He's there when he says he'll be there. He listens when you speak. He values your time, your heart, your mind. You don't have to wonder where you stand, because he makes it clear by the way he moves. That's the difference between a man who talks love and a man who lives love. You deserve a man who lives it. It's easy to get caught up because hope is a powerful thing. You keep hoping that this time will be different, that this time he'll mean it. But hope without evidence is just wishful thinking. If he keeps showing you that he's unreliable, that he's selfish, that he's careless with your heart, you have to be strong enough to accept that truth. Love yourself enough to stop settling for potential. Potential is not a plan. Potential is not a promise. Potential is not enough to build a future on. Actions, effort, consistency, that's what you build on. A man who wants you will show you through his daily actions. He won't make you chase after him. He won't leave you in confusion. He won't disappear when things get real. And if his words ever get too big for his actions to carry, then he's not your man. He's just a distraction sent to waste your time. Ladies and gentlemen, trust what you see, trust what you feel. Trust the moments when he doesn't know you're watching, because that's when the truth always slips out. Stop falling for the man he pretends to be when he wants something, and start paying attention to the man he really is when he thinks you put up with anything. You deserve actions that match words. You deserve promises that turn into reality. You deserve a love that's real, not just rehearsed. One of the clearest signs that a man is just using you is when you feel like you're an option instead of a priority. See, when a man truly values you, when he truly sees you as part of his life, he moves differently. He doesn't make you sit around wondering if you matter. He doesn't put you on standby until he's done doing whatever he wants to do. But a man who's just using you, he'll keep you in the background, pick you up when it's convenient and forget you when it's not. He'll give you just enough to keep you hanging on, but never enough to make you feel secure. And let me tell you something, your heart was not made to be somebody's backup plan. When you are an option to a man, he makes time for you only when it fits into his schedule. He calls you when he's bored. He texts you when he has nothing better to do. You're not the first person he thinks about when he makes plans. You're the afterthought. You're the late night call, not the early morning good morning text. You're the maybe, not the definitely. And let me say this loud and clear. A real man doesn't treat the woman he wants as a second choice. A real man moves mountains to be with her. He doesn't just make time, he prioritizes time. And it hurts because you're giving him the best parts of you, hoping that one day he'll wake up and realize what he has. But the longer you stay in that space, the more you're teaching him that it's okay to treat you that way. A man who sees you as a priority doesn't keep you guessing. He doesn't make you feel like you have to fight for a spot in his life. He invites you into his world. He wants you to be a part of his plans, his dreams, his future. He doesn't just show up when it's easy. He shows up even when it's hard. He doesn't hide you. He celebrates you. He doesn't string you along. He commits. When you're important to someone, you know it, you don't have to wonder. Too many women are stuck in situations where they are chasing after men who have no intention of ever catching them. You find yourself waiting for a call, waiting for a text, waiting for some sign that you mean something. But the truth is, if a man wants you in his life, he'll show you every single day. Not just with words, but with consistent, intentional actions. If you're constantly feeling like you have to fight for his attention, then he's already told you where you stand, and you deserve so much more than that. It's easy to get caught up because you care, because you see the potential in it, because you remember the good moments. But potential without effort is just a fantasy. Memories without consistency are just distractions. Stop holding on to the pieces when you deserve the whole thing. Stop making room in your life for people who only make you an option in theirs. You have to love yourself enough to stop accepting crumbs when you deserve the feast. You have to believe that the right man will not make you feel like a burden or an afterthought. He will make you feel chosen, honored, respected, and loved every day. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. You were not put on this earth to sit on the sidelines of your own love story. You were made to be front and center, to be loved out loud, to be prioritized without question. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this: being an option is a choice. And you have the power to choose differently. Choose yourself first. Choose your peace. Choose your worth. Choose to walk away from anyone who makes you feel like anything less than a blessing. One of the biggest signs that a man is just using you is when you find yourself constantly doing for him, constantly giving, constantly showing up, and he's never there when it's your turn to need something. When a man is using you, it's always about what you can do for him. It's always about what you can give, what you can provide, what you can sacrifice. It's never about what he can give back to you. It's a one-way street. You pour and pour into him, and he just takes and takes without ever thinking about how he can pour into you. You see it in the little things at first. He's always short on gas money, but somehow he's still driving around town. He's always in need of a favor, always asking you to come through for him. But when you need something, he's busy, he's tired, he's unavailable. When a man values you, he's looking for ways to lighten your load, not add more weight to your back. But when a man is using you, he will drain every bit of your energy, your kindness, your resources, and your time, and he'll make you feel guilty when you finally say no. Relationships are supposed to be about partnership. They're supposed to be about give and take. Real love doesn't keep score, but it sure knows when things are unfair. If you look up and realize you're always the one sacrificing, you're always the one compromising, you're always the one fixing and rescuing, you have to stop and ask yourself, what is he giving back to you? Because love is not just about taking. It's about showing up for each other, about lifting each other up, about being willing to sacrifice for the person you love just as much as they sacrifice for you. A man who's just using you doesn't see you as a partner. He sees you as a resource. He sees you as someone to call when he's down, someone to lean on when life gets tough, someone to depend on when he doesn't feel like taking care of his own mess. And you, being the beautiful, strong, nurturing soul that you are, you step up because you care. You step up because you want to be there for him. But let me tell you something. Being there for someone doesn't mean letting them take advantage of you. It doesn't mean carrying a load that they refuse to even touch themselves. When a man really loves you, he feels responsible for your heart. He feels responsible for your happiness, for your well-being. He's not comfortable taking and taking without giving something back. He wants to make sure you feel appreciated. He wants to make sure you feel cared for. He wants to make sure that you're not the only one investing, building, fighting. But when a man is only out for what he can get, he doesn't care if you're tired. He doesn't care if you're drained. As long as his needs are being met, he's satisfied. You deserve more than to be somebody's fallback plan. You deserve more than to be the one who's always giving but never receiving. You deserve a man who doesn't just come to you with his hand out, but comes to you with his hands full, ready to give, ready to support, ready to invest just as much as you are. If you have to constantly prove your worth by doing favors, by fixing problems, by cleaning up his mistakes, then he's not your man. He's your project. And let me tell you, you were not created to be somebody's project manager. You were created to be a queen. Stop letting people pour from you who don't pour into you. Stop overextending yourself for people who wouldn't lift a finger if you needed them. Love should not feel like a burden. Loving someone should not mean losing yourself trying to meet their endless demands. You deserve a partnership where both people are working, both people are sacrificing, both people are showing up every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, your energy is precious. Your love is valuable. Don't waste it on someone who only sees you as a solution to their problems, but never as a partner to build with. Know your worth, protect your heart, and make sure the man standing next to you is carrying the load with you, not piling it all on your back. Let's talk about something too many people overlook until it's too late. Genuine emotional investment. See, when a man is truly with you, when he's serious about you, he invests emotionally. It's not just about being there physically, not just about dates and gifts and pictures on social media. It's about him opening his heart, being vulnerable with you, showing you the real him, not just a polished version he gives everybody else. But when a man is just using you, there is a complete lack of emotional investment. He keeps everything surface level. He tells you just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to let you all the way in. You're close, but still kept at a distance. You're together, but you still feel alone. That feeling, that loneliness, even when you're sitting right next to him, that's what happens when someone is not truly invested. When a man is emotionally invested, he doesn't just listen to your words, he listens to your heart. He pays attention to the things that matter to you. He remembers the small details you share. He's tuned in to your emotions, your highs and lows, your victories and your battles. When you hurt, he feels it too. When you celebrate, he celebrates with you. Emotional investment looks like being present, being supportive, being real. But a man who's only using you doesn't dive that deep. He stays in the shallow waters where it's safe. He's there for the good times, for the easy laughs. But when things get real, when you need him to stand in the trenches with you, suddenly he's missing, silent, distracted, unavailable. You see, real connection requires work. It requires effort. It requires a willingness to be uncomfortable sometimes, to face emotions, to sit with feelings, to have hard conversations. A man who is not truly invested will avoid all that. He'll change the subject when you bring up something serious. He'll tell you you're being too sensitive when you try to talk about your needs. He'll make you feel like you're wrong just for wanting more. But you're not wrong for wanting someone who shows up emotionally. You're not wrong for wanting a man who is fully present, fully engaged, fully in the relationship with you. That's the bare minimum of real love. A man who lacks emotional investment often uses physical intimacy to cover up the absence of real emotional connection. He'll be quick to get close to you physically, but slow to get close to you emotionally. And let me tell you something. Emotional intimacy and physical intimacy are not the same. Don't let a man's body fool you into thinking you have his heart. If he can lay beside you night after night, but still doesn't know how you feel deep down, still doesn't ask about your dreams, still doesn't care enough to really see you, then you don't have a partner. You have a placeholder. Ladies, you deserve someone who sees your soul, not just your body. Someone who wants to know what keeps you up at night. Someone who wants to build dreams with you, not just share a bed with you. Someone who cares enough to sit with you when you're broken, not just show up when everything's easy. That's what emotional investment looks like. That's what commitment feels like. Not this halfway love, not this temporary interest that vanishes the moment you ask for something deeper. A man who is truly invested doesn't just want to have fun with you. He wants to grow with you. He wants to build with you. He wants to heal with you. He wants to walk through the ups and downs of life with you, not just ride the highs and disappear when it gets tough. He will not let you carry your burdens alone. He will not let you suffer in silence. He will meet you in the middle every time. So many women stay in situations where they are starving for emotional connection, begging for scraps of attention, hoping that one day he will open up and let them in. But real love doesn't require begging. Real love is freely given. Real love shows up consistently. If he's not investing emotionally, if he's keeping you at a distance while taking all that you have to offer, he's not loving you. He's using you. Ladies and gentlemen, know your worth. Know the difference between someone who wants your time and someone who wants your heart. Know the difference between being occupied and being truly loved. Emotional investment is not optional when it comes to real love. It's the foundation. Don't settle for anything less. Sometimes deep down inside, you just know. You can't explain it. You can't always put your finger on it. But there's something inside of you, your gut, your spirit, your intuition, that keeps whispering, something ain't right. And let me tell you, that feeling is real. That feeling is not lying to you. Too many times we silence that voice. We push it aside. We tell ourselves we're overthinking. We tell ourselves we're paranoid. We let our love for someone drown out the wisdom that God placed in our spirit to protect us. But the truth is, your gut knows when you're being used. Your gut knows when someone's heart is not where it's supposed to be. Your gut knows when you're pouring into a situation that's only draining you. See, you can ignore the signs all you want. You can overlook the broken promises, the half-hearted apologies, the moments where you feel invisible, the times when you cry yourself to sleep wondering what you did wrong. But your spirit doesn't lie. It keeps sending you those little red flags, those uneasy feelings, those sleepless nights. It keeps tugging at you, trying to wake you up before you waste even more time on someone who was never meant to have a permanent seat in your life. When you are truly loved, when you are truly respected, when you are truly valued, your soul feels peace. Not confusion, not anxiety, not fear, peace. Love brings clarity, love brings comfort. But when someone is using you, when someone is only around for what they can get, your spirit picks up on it. That's why you feel unsettled. That's why even on the good days is a little voice inside of you saying, that voice isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you. Hey, the problem is a lot of us want to believe in the potential of a person so badly that we'll ignore the truth of who they are. We'll cling to the good moments, the apologies, the promises of change, and we'll silence that still small voice that's begging us to pay attention. We think if we love harder, if we're more patient, if we give them more time, they'll become the person we need them to be. But that's not how it works. Love doesn't transform a user into a partner. Only they can do that work. And most of the time, they're not interested in changing because they're too busy benefiting from who you already are. Your gut feeling is not emotional weakness. It's spiritual strength. It's the part of you that sees beyond the smiles, beyond the sweet talk, beyond the surface. It's the part of you that recognizes when someone's energy is not matching their words. It's the part of you that senses when you're being taken for granted, even if you can't yet prove it, and it is your job to honor that voice. It is your job to listen before the hurt gets deeper, before the attachment gets stronger, before the pieces of yourself you keep giving away become harder and harder to put back together. A real relationship, a real love won't leave you in a constant state of confusion. It won't make you feel like you're crazy for asking for consistency, for loyalty, for respect. If you're constantly questioning where you stand, if you're constantly doubting whether they truly care, if you're constantly feeling like you have to convince them to choose you, that's your gut telling you that something is wrong. And it is better to walk away confused than to stay and get broken. Ladies, gentlemen, whoever you are, wherever you are, you have a power inside you that is greater than any manipulation, greater than any sweet talk, greater than any fear of being alone. You have wisdom inside of you. You have discernment inside of you. Trust it. Trust yourself. You don't need someone else to confirm what you already feel. If the peace is missing, if the respect is missing, if the consistency is missing, then the love you deserve is missing too. Listen to your gut. It's trying to take you where your heart will be safe, where your spirit will be fed, where your soul will finally rest in the kind of love that doesn't confuse you, doesn't drain you, doesn't use you, but loves you the way you always meant to be loved.